Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Girl Power Alliance podcast. Today, I am your host. I'm Farras Seay. I'm one of the co founders, and I am the social media manager and director for Girl Power Alliance. So, I was asked to come on here and do a podcast. It's something that we're doing that's different with Girl Power Alliance 2.0, is what we're calling it. So, I was asked to come on here. So, I'm here by myself. It's a little different. I've never recorded a podcast by myself, but I wanted to talk about a subject that is super important to me. And it's definitely a godly movement, something that has been inside of me. And so, stepping into your greatness, that's the key feature of what we're talking about today. For me, stepping into your greatness is realizing who you are and what you're going to do in this life to serve others, serve yourself, and serve God. For a really long time, I will give you a little backstory. Is I didn't come from the perfect home. I didn't grow up in the church. I didn't go to church every Sunday. I didn't pray all of the time. And that significantly changed when I was about I would say 6 or 7 years old, and I was approached by a woman at a fair, and she really changed the trajectory of my life. And she gave me a little Bible, and from that point forward, that really helped me through all of my life struggles. I have two parents who made some pretty poor decisions in life, and I love them so very much, but they were struggling with their own battles. So I was put into foster homes. I was in and out of my family's homes. I went to one of my aunt's houses. Then I stayed with my other aunt for a while, and all of means for my parents to get me back. And with that comes a lot of trauma, comes a lot of doubt. And without God, I do not believe that I would be the person that I am today without having that Bible, talking to that lady at that fair so long ago. And I do believe that it was God reaching down saying, okay, she's going to need me on this journey of life as we continue. So, how that coincides with stepping into your greatness is when you have a lot of doubt, and I know I'm going to relate to a lot of people. It's you're going to have doubt, you're going to doubt yourself. You're going to possibly work for a corporation or a small business where they pretty much kind of tell you who you are and what you're going to do and what your worth is. And for me, I did that for a really, really long time. Just in the past year, have I really stepped into who I'm supposed to be and how I show up every single day. And I will be honest, I was the type of Christian that didn't necessarily pray every single day. And when I did, it was because I was going through something, I needed something, and I wasn't doing it just to be thankful for the day. And that's how I like to think about it is you have to be thankful for every single day. And you have to thank him every single day, even when you may not be having the best day or having the best moment or the best season. And I found myself only praying when I needed something, when someone was in trouble or I was in trouble, to be honest with you. So now that has definitely changed so much. I accredit a lot of it to Girl Power Alliance because it's something that I'm a part of every single day. And I think without it, I would still be a little lost. And when I worked for other people, corporations, things like that, I was always being told, well, this is the best that you're going to be at, or this is the best that you're going to be. And this is, the best that you're going to be able to do. And I believed that for a really, really long time. So stepping into my greatness really came when I was constantly being told over and over again with the people around me that, hey, this is what you're meant to do. Hey, you're so amazing at this. Hey, you're a great asset. You can do all of these things. We believe in you. All of these things were constantly being told to me. And think about it as someone that may have had trauma, someone that doesn't necessarily believe what everybody says to them all the time. You have to think about it to where you don't necessarily believe that in yourself. And I'm here to tell you that that's okay to start with. It's okay to not always believe at first, but there's going to be a turning point in your life where you're going to have to pivot and you're going to have to start believing that. Because if you are doubting yourself and you're doubting your greatness, you're never going to be able to step into it. So, as life goes on, it's really important to take it in small moments, take the small wins, and really start believing in who you really are and who God created you to be. It's I know this can be an interesting subject, but I like to think that stepping into your greatness is really starting to figure out who you are. I am going to be 34 this year. And actually, my birthday, as this podcast release, it'll be on Monday after Easter. And when I think about it, I've grown so much in these 34 years. And I think now more than ever is the time to really step into that. And I have been I mean, just in the last couple of weeks, it's been really such a magical journey. I've had a lot of issues with anger. Um, if you guys listened and watched in our group in the inner circle, that we have on Facebook, we had an Enneagram expert come on, and I'm an Enneagram 8. So I definitely head straight forward. I'm going to tell it how it is. I sometimes don't really care about the repercussions. And for a long time, I lived my life that way. And my faith was that way. It was either you believed or you didn't believe, and that was it. And so now pulling back the reins a little bit. And as I have stepped into my greatness, a lot of things have changed. The anger has gone away. I definitely hold my tongue a lot more because we know the power of words. God says it many, many times in the Bible, what the power of words can do. And I really have been in awe with the fact that it can be that transformational with the people you surround yourself with. They're leveling up, creating new things, having all these amazing ideas, whether it's what you watch on TV, whether it's what you allow into your headspace, it's how you allow other people to speak to you. And I hear it all the time, like, you know, do I have permission? You hear this a lot in like mentorship. So if you've done any mentorship programs, things like that, they say, "Oh, well, do I have permission?" And that's the thing is you can give people permission without them knowing just by with the words that you use. So you have to really be careful when you're navigating life and starting to step into who you're meant to be, and you have to really be careful with that. And that's one thing that I've learned is the more that I hold back and really think on this is something that Michelle has talked about is the second thought process. And it's like if you really stop and think and you go to that second thought instead of your first initial reaction, you're going to have a better result than ever before. So I've really taken the time to dig deep into the word. I've really taken time to pray with intention and really pray for other people more than myself. And in doing that, it has released so much. Like I said, I was angry a lot and I really didn't care what I said to other people and how it made them feel. And now I've really pulled back on all of that. And it's definitely released so much joy and happiness. And it's it's all part of stepping into your greatness. And people are starting to see me differently, which now, like I told you before, it's I never believed what people said about me. I never believed that I could be this great leader. I never believed that I could be a business owner. I never believed I could be an entrepreneur, that I could be a part of something greater than myself, and that I was an asset. And, the list and list goes on. But now I'm starting to really see what other people are seeing. And I think it has a huge thing to, as well as when you wake up and you like the person that's in the mirror, really really looking at yourself and really understanding that, okay, this is who I am, this is who I'm meant to be, this is how I'm going to go about my day, this is how I'm going to change the world and help others and serve others, because it starts with you. And God is always with you. And I think he, personally, I think he lets us kind of go on these little experiences and journeys in life because he wants us to see ourselves the way he sees us. And he has other people in our lives tell us these things. And when we're ready to truly believe that, that's when the miracles happen. That's when the blessings and the abundance and the joy and the happiness and all of the things that he wants you to have start to really happen. There was an instance a few years ago where, and this is where I knew this change was starting to happen. It wasn't immediate, of course. It's definitely been something I've been working on, but it would just be a random time during the day or night, doesn't matter when. I Most of the time is when I was driving, and I would get these little downloads, and it would be, I'm so happy with my life right now. And I think back, and I think to now, like, life was good then. Oh, wow. The change that life is now is a complete 180. I was happy then in those little small snippet moments, but I'm so, so happy now. And it's literally, like I said, 180 night and day. And that's with relationships, business. Um, for me, it's just, I always thought that I would just be, this regular person or woman in the world, and I wouldn't really do much. I would go to work, I'd have my family, I'd have my friends, and now so many doors have been opened to where I'm going to be able to make such a huge difference in so many people's lives. And for me, I always wanted to help people. I never really knew what it looked like at career day, or when you were a kid and someone was like, "Well, what do you want to be when you grow up?" Well, I didn't have an answer. I couldn't tell you. I wasn't one of those kids that was like, "Oh, I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a veterinarian, or I want to do this, or I want to be a police officer, or all of those things." I never had an answer, and for a long time I didn't have the answer. And finally, when someone had asked me, they said, "Well, what do you want to do?" I said, "Well, I want to be a counselor." And now that makes so much sense. Being a counselor for God, because you're counseling other people. Because what you're doing by stepping into your greatness, you're helping counsel other people to step into theirs. So I'll say that again. Being a counselor for God allows you to help others step into their greatness. Okay. So that's one of the biggest revelations that I've had, is that now I know what I'm meant to do, and that is to help others, and to help others realize that you can come from nothing. You can have a hard life. You can have a lot of life's ups and downs, but nothing is greater than God, number one. And number two, you are going through this for a reason so that you can help other people, and your story can be that for them, because your story and what you go through may inspire someone to be like, "Oh my gosh, that's what I was missing. Oh my gosh, that's what I needed to hear. Oh my gosh, that's the missing piece." So that they can then step into their greatness of whatever that is, whether it's they're serving in the church, whether they're serving in their everyday community, whether it's they're being the best they possibly can be in the corporation they work for. Or maybe they're becoming an entrepreneur and they were super scared. FYI, I was super scared. I didn't want to do it. But now I'm like, why wouldn't anyone want to do this? And when you think about an entrepreneur, it can be anything. It can be anything that you want to do, whatever your passion is. And that was another thing. I didn't know what my passion was, but I've used all the tools that I've learned over the years and just push that. And I love learning new things as long as it's creative. That's my realm. I'm not so much as a person on fitness. I'm not so much as a person on, you know, the coaching aspect, which maybe that might come into play later on. But I just love telling people, hey, this is what it is. This is what I've been through. And this is what I'm using now to step into my greatness and become the best I can be so that I can help others and show people that it is possible. So, I hope that this provides you with some value today and it's speaking to someone. It's definitely different recording something on your own, but I think that speaking to you guys and letting you guys know that, hey, this is what it's all about. I would love to share my story in full, and I think I'll do that here probably pretty soon on some of these other podcasts that we're going to be having here in Girl Power Alliance, because we want you guys ultimately to understand that Girl Power Alliance is a movement and we're changing the narrative and we're changing what it is to be a God fearing woman, a kingdom mindseted woman, that you can do whatever it is that you want to do and you can have God as the forefront of it all. Because, ladies, I'm going to tell you, for a little while, I don't want to say I denied him, but I definitely didn't put him at the forefront. I definitely didn't. And now that I am, I'm not afraid of it because of the abundance and the blessings that are unfolding in front of me daily. So I just encourage you to, whatever it may be, step into your greatness, however it looks like, however long it's going to take you. Do these small things, whether it's just praying daily, making sure you're thanking him for the day, whether it's you're reading your Bible, whether you're doing self-care, whatever it may be, whether it's therapy, or maybe it's joining a group just like Girl Power Alliance that is going to push you to that next level. Because I will tell you, without the people that I'm surrounded myself with and without Girl Power Alliance, I would not be here speaking to you guys about this. And I am so serious when I say this. It has been such a blessing. And the type of confidence that I have now, because I have stepped into that, is I really don't have words for it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day or night or week or whatever it is that you guys are doing. And we can't wait to see you guys. And we will be talking to you soon on the next episode of Girl Power Alliance.